All right, Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling on the scriptures. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing His word in truth and in sincerity with charity. And this is just an assignment, that was given to us by Elder Malcolm here in the Chicago branch of Great Millstone. And it just shows you the the total misunderstanding of these women out here trying to teach the scriptures. Now, I'm gonna play the video. It's only a minute long, and I actually I did this video before, but it didn't come out right. But because Spirit led me to some more precise call Allah Yahweh Shemi Shai edification and a more pure understanding of the fact that she's wrong, and I'm gonna prove why. So I'm gonna read the scriptures and prove her completely wrong with one example in the scriptures. I don't even want to make it too long. So I'm going to play this real quick.
Esau cannot be the white male if his father is Isaac, according to "you are what your father is" doctrine. The biological makeup of what makes a person human stems from both the indigenous male and the indigenous female. Israelites, you cannot crossbreed with an evolved Neanderthal and believe you are duplicating yourself, nor consider what was born from a sinful union to be holy. The Most High will not accept the abomination. The scripture said a bastard cannot enter the Most High's congregation. Crossbreeding is forbidden.
All right, so basically the whole subject of her video was that crossbreeding is an abomination. All right, and we know that through the scriptures, if you read the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, Isaac had two sons, Jacob and Esau. All right, Jacob and Esau are synonymous with the last days, which we are currently in. If we're waking up to the fact that we are Jacob, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we would also have to figure out and wake up to the fact of who is Esau, Edom, and it's the so-called white man. And it did come through. It didn't come through crossbreed. It came through two so-called Israelites before we were named Israel, because we were originally the sons of the Most High. All right, going all the way down to what? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So two, Isaac and Rebekah were what you would say as the same biological makeup, and they did have Esau. You see? But for my example that I wanted to get, let's go here real quick. In the book of Ruth, all right, it shows you that Ruth was biologically of a different nation than, let's see, the husband, Boaz, which was of the tribe of Judah. You see? So those would be considered two different biological makeups. And you're saying that, let's hear what she said again. I'm going to rewind it.
For union to be holy. The Most High will not accept the abomination. The scripture said a bastard cannot enter the Most High's congregation. Crossbreeding is forbidden.
See if I can go back
Israelites, you cannot crossbreed with an evolved Neanderthal and believe you are duplicating yourself, nor consider what was born from a sinful union to be holy. The Most High will not accept the abomination. The scripture said a bastard cannot enter the Most High's congregation. Crossbreeding is forbidden.
So crossbreeding is forbidden, according to this woman. So did not Boaz crossbreed with a Moabite woman and produce the father of David, Jesse, and King David? You people teaching the truth, especially you women, man, please stop, because the Lord is going to start killing you. Okay, because this is ridiculous, man. You do not know what you're talking about. This is a pure example right here of crossbreeding between two nations to produce what? King David. This is Ruth 4 and 10. Moreover, Ruth, the Moabitess, she was of the seed of Moab, a different seed than Israel. The wife of Mahalan have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. Ye are witnesses this day. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, We are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that is coming to thine house like Rachel, like Leah. Wouldn't those two women be considered biologically the same as Isaac? So the Lord is saying that this heathen Moabite is, as it says here, Ruth, would be looked as as Rachel and Leah, which means that the Lord agreed that this could be done. This is not an abomination, or we wouldn't have Jesse, which brought forth King David, man. You women are completely out of your mind. Ruth 4:11, and all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, We are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel, and do thou worthily in Ephratah, and be famous in Bethlehem. And let thy house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which the Lord shall give thee of this young woman. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife, and he went in unto her. The Lord gave her conception, and she bare a son. And the woman said unto Naomi, Blessed be the Lord, which hath not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. And he shall be unto thee a restorer of life, of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age. For thy daughter-in-law, which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, hath borne him. And this is Naomi talking about Ruth, the Moabitess, a woman of another nation that an Israelite man brought forth seed through. And that seed happened to be Jesse, who brought forth King David, who brought forth King Solomon, who is Yahushai. So what are you talking about? These crossbreeding. What did she say? Let's go back and I'll come back here. You women are bugged out of your mind, man.
The indigenous male and the indigenous female. Israelites, you cannot crossbreed with an evolved Neanderthal and believe you are duplicating yourself, nor consider what was born from a sinful union to be holy. The Most High will not accept the abomination. The scripture said a bastard cannot enter the Most High's congregation. Crossbreeding is forbidden.
Crossbreeding is forbidden. You heard her. Ruth 4:11, and all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, We are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah. This is actually the Lord blessing this connection in this marriage between Boaz, an Israelite, and who? Ruth, a Moabitess. Crossbreeding. Ruth 4:11, and all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, We are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel, and do thou worthily in Ephratah, and be famous in Bethlehem. And let thy house be like the house of Pharez, from whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which the Lord shall give thee of this young woman. Who is being blessed in the situation to actually go forth with this crossbreeding? Boaz. He is being blessed to do this. The Lord is not. You women need to really stop, man. Seriously, man. Ruth 4:12, and let thy house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which the Lord shall give thee of this young woman. Who is the young woman? The Moabitess Ruth. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception. Let's go into that word. Did Boaz, an Israelite, just crossbreed with a Moabite? Yes, he did, because the Lord was with it. Conception, physical conception, pregnancy. Come on, man. The Lord was blessing Boaz for this. Ruth 4. Because why was he blessing Boaz? Because he's bringing forth the seed of David, man. He's bringing forth David, man. And Yahushai. King Solomon. You women, man. Ruth 4. Let's see. Ruth 4 is Ruth 4 and 13. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception. The Most High made her pregnant. Man, you women, man. And she bare a son. And the woman said unto Naomi, Blessed be the Lord, which hath not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. And he shall be unto thee a restorer of the life of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age for thy daughter-in-law, which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, hath borne him. It's talking about Ruth. And Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom and became nurse unto it. And the woman and the women her neighbors gave it a name, saying, There is a son born to Naomi. And they called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. Now let's go to Matthew's. Bear with me 1 second. Let's see here. Just going in the spirit. This is Matthew's 1 and 1. It says, the book of the generation of Yahushai, Hamashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. So it shows you that even King David came through crossbreeding. A prominent man in the scriptures came through crossbreeding. So what are you talking about as far as Esau not not coming from the white man can't be Esau because basically in your mind, 2 black people, all right, can't bring forth a white child. See, you women don't have no understanding. You're carnal, man. Stop it, man. You have to go via the scriptures and what it says, man. Via prophecy and what it says. Matthew's 1 and 1, the book of the generation of Yahushai, Hamashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Judas and his brethren. And Judas begot Pharez and Zara of Thamar, and Pharez begot Esrom, and Esrom begot Aram, and Aram begot Aminadab, and Aminadab begot Naasan, and Naasan begot Salmon, and Salmon begot Boaz of Rechab, and Boaz begot Obed of Ruth. Didn't we just read that? I think this is crossbreeding. Ruth was a Moabite. She was of another nation. Okay. And Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot David the king. And David the king begot Solomon, of her that had been the wife of Urias. And Solomon begot Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begot Abiah, and Abiah begot Asa, and Asa begot Jehoshaphat, and Jehoshaphat begot Joram, and Joram begot Ozias, and Ozias begot Jotham, and Jotham begot Achaz, and Achaz begot Hezekias, and Hezekias begot Manasseh. Let's talk about Hezekiah and Manasseh. You can read about those 2 kings of Judah. The whole line of David came through crossbreeding. What are you talking about? And Manasseh begot Ammon, and Ammon begot Josias, and Josias begot Jeconias and his brethren, about the time they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begot Salathiel, and Salathiel begot Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begot Abidiud, and Abidiud begot Eliakim, and Eliakim begot Azor, and Azor begot Sadak, and Sadak begot Achim, and Achim begot Eliad, and Eliad begot Eleazar, and Eleazar begot Mathan, and Mathan begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahushai, who is called the Anointed. See? Crossbreeding is a part of our heritage, man. Now I had this pulled up. It says Ruth. It says, is the person after whom the book of Ruth is named. In the narrative, she is not an Israelite, but rather is from Moab. She marries an Israelite. Both her husband and her father-in-law die, and she helps her mother-in-law Naomi find protection. Religion. Moabites were pagans and worshiped the Most High Chemosh. Therefore, Ruth, as a Moabite, is an unlikely hero in the Jewish story. You see? Let's read a little bit of this art. Let's read a little bit of this if it'll load. And this just shows you, man, that you women really need to stop, man, because you don't understand the scriptures, man. You don't read. You don't have the studying. You don't really understand what you're really reading, man, because it's not for you to teach. It says the Torah.com, the substance of kinship. You know what? Let's do this real quick. Kinship refers to the culturally defined relationships between individuals who are commonly thought of as having family ties. All societies use kinship as a basis for forming social groups and for classifying people. This was a tie between what? A Moabite woman, Ruth, all right, and a man of Judah, Boaz, to bring forth who? Jesse. And who else? King David. And who else? King Solomon. All the way down to bringing forth Yahushua, the seed of David. Through what? Cross-contaminating. Cross-combining, as you want us to call it. Between two different nations. Ruth's consumption of barley and wheat gleaned from the field of Boaz was an integral step in her transformation from a foreigner who arrived from the fields of Moab to a daughter in Judah. Let's go to Genesis 25, man. So-called white man, and that was an example of just proving that last point of your video was wrong. Let's go to Genesis 25. Genesis 25. See here real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Genesis 25. Let's see here. Genesis 25:19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Pandanaram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together with her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Second Ezra, the 6th chapter tells you that Esau will be the end of the world. That will be the ruling power in the end of the earth. See, the descendants of Esau would be in power at the end of the world. Esau and Jacob being the forefather for the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, is brother, all right, to Esau, the descendants of Esau, the so-called white man. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. These were the 2 twins that were inside. Who? Rebekah, wife of Isaac. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 6. Second Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Ezra was talking about what shall be the parting asunder of the time to let me know when the end of the world is. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world. So Esau would have to be here in the end of the world, established as the most dominant power on the earth. These are the so-called white people, the so-called Caucasian man, woman, and child. They are the end of the world. And Jacob, who is now waking up, is the beginning of it that followeth. What is after the end of the world? The kingdom. Who will be controlled and ruling in the kingdom? The descendants of Jacob, the 12 tribes. Esau and Jacob were brothers, were they not? They came through what? The same biological. The same. Let's go back to it, man. Biologically, they came through the same people that are biologically the same, man. You know what? And if you look at it, Genesis 25:20, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Pandanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they call his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
And it says a common theme in most plays, novels, stories, movies, etc., is that of conflict, usually existing between 2 of the main characters in a script. In the play Julius Caesar, there was a conflict between Caesar and his conspirators Brutus and Cassius. In the story of Cinderella, we find conflict between the title character and her wicked stepmother. Without this conflict and opposition, the entire plot becomes pointless, as it gives life to the meaning of the events and the actions of the characters. Some manner of conflict or struggles is actually expected, just as they exist in nature, in our lives and history, and in the stories, usually in the form of an old age conflict between good and evil. Alright? It says, today, the casual observer to the events that are transpiring in the world can perceive the existence of the conflict and struggle between ideologies, philosophies, laws, religion, governments, etc., which produce the trouble, misfortunes, and adversities in the world. However, it is not apparent to most of the actors or individuals are at the forefront of the conflict in the world, or why the conflicts and adversity exists. Right, because the Lord controls all men. This is his movie, his play. God has written a script for the world which identifies 2 main characters who would be involved in an age-long struggle or conflict. All right, that being Esau and Jacob. This is a constant theme throughout the script. So let's look at the scripts and see what it had to say about this toward God's script, the Bible. And I'm gonna pause right there. Let this dog out. Salakia. Dog's afraid to go out. It's storming. Esau got it so jacked up. It's like in the mid 40s in January, when it should be, in the teens or something like that, or it should be really cold, but it's like spring out there, and you're having like a spring storm with thunder and lightning, and it's shaking up everything. But all them chemtrails, that rain brought it down. So Esau with his depopulation program, your big brothers there, you was kings. But back into the book, it says Esau making his first appearance on the stage as he is being born to Rebekah and Isaac along with his twin brother Jacob. The scene opens with Isaac's request of God on the behalf of his wife. Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord answered. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And this is straight I'm recognizing that this is King James, that version that he's using. And she went to inquire of Yahweh, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from the bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right? So that was the eternal conflict right there. These 2 children that came out of these same people were yet 2 different nations of people that were going to be completely against each other. And the Lord was with both of these people. But one of them was chosen, and one was just, got a temporary blessing where the Lord allowed them to do their wickedness in order for his movie, his plot to work out. And that happened to be the one who came out red, the so-called white man.
And that happens to be who? The nation of Edom. So here, let's get this real quick. And they are considered what? The wicked. Malachi chapter 1 verse 1, it says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 9. Let's see who would get control over the world. All right. The Lord said these people that I read about, the people of Edom, all right, the people and descendants of Esau, they will be considered who? The wicked, the board of wickedness. This is Job 9 and 24. The earth, talking about the whole earth to this day, is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who is it talking about? We just read about the wicked and the border of wickedness being the nation of Edom, the so-called white man. The elder had a book there called Who is Esau Edom? They understand that they are Esau Edom. All right. It's just that you people that have no understanding, like you women, all right, you have no understanding that the so-called white man is Esau Edom, because you are in your whole emotions trying to teach the scriptures, trying to do something that you're not supposed to be doing. Let's go to Job 39. Job 39 and 17. Why can't you understand this? Why are you breaking this down wrong? Job 39 and 17, because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. And it's talking about the woman. Okay. So let's go back to her video. You know, kind of all over the place, but we hit most of the points that shows you that this man, we destroyed both of her points, actually. Let's go listen to
all these gurus and YouTubers and experts out there, they want you to trade like this, with hundreds of different indicators and chart patterns. I don't know about you.
Come on, man. And you're monetized. These people, man.
Esau cannot be the white male if his father is Isaac, according to you are what your father is doctrine.
And that we proved you wrong. Esau is a so-called white man, and he did come forth from Isaac. He is the seed of Isaac. They would be considered Hebrew Edomites. Yes, they could. So you've been proven wrong on that. So here's some more of this madness.
Biological makeup of what makes a person human stems from both the indigenous male and the indigenous female. Israelites, you cannot crossbreed with an evolved Neanderthal and believe you are duplicating yourself, nor consider what was born from a sinful union to be holy. The Most High will not accept the abomination. The scripture said a bastard cannot enter the Most High's congregation. Crossbreeding is forbidden.
And we proved that wrong. Cross breeding is forbidden. I gave you the example of Ruth, man. This is why you women shouldn't be teaching nothing. You should just go sit down somewhere, man. You have no understanding. You weren't given that lot. See, what it's going to take for you women to understand that is death and destruction. Just to be blatantly honest. You know? If this is the case, prove, you people that come with these doctrines, prove to us who Esau is. You can't do it. Because you don't know. But we can. And we're proving to you that Esau Edom is a so-called white man based off of prophecy. Whether or not he came from a so-called sinful union. Which he didn't. He came from Isaac and Rebekah. See? Let's go to get one last scripture, man. And this was no lined up scriptures. It's just through the Spirit, man. This is 1 Timothy 2 and 10 and 11, excuse me. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to what? Teach. Let's go into that word. And this is why. Because they can't properly break down and give understanding to each of to what they're saying. They just say stuff, man. It says to teach, to hold discourse with others in order to instruct them, deliver didactic discourses, to be a teacher, to discharge the officer of a teacher, conduct oneself as a teacher. Conduct oneself as a teacher. And that's what this lady here, let's get her open diary, is doing, man. Teaching false doctrine. Cause of confusion. 1 Timothy 2 and 11, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. You are still deceived by the doctrines and the spirits and the ways of this world, man. And ultimately deceived by Yahweh Shem Yahshua, because we do have women that could understand what we're teaching. And you're not one of them. Therefore, you shouldn't be teaching anything. Lord willing, that was edifying call. Law Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling on the scriptures. Salutations to Akim across the world, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity and charity. Shalom and Abba.